Well, well, well. Whoa, commercial. Well, well, well. Thank God it's Monday. We're back in the saddle again. Back in the saddle again. Yeah, another fun-filled day. Some word came out that the virus had more something than others. I don't know. To me, I don't know. I kind of like look at the virus, the pandemic, and I kind of look at it like trading. And to me, the profit and loss is the death toll. And I don't see an increase in death toll, and that's really confusing me. In other words, the amount of people that normally die every month are still that number, and it's not anything more extraordinaire. So I'm a little confused by it all. So, in other words, if the virus itself was so death defying, wouldn't we have like a 2 or 3 or 5% increase in the amount of deaths every month? And now we've gone on for like 3 or 4 months here, and we're not seeing any magical big numbers. Even the New York City numbers was right with the mathematical mean of the death toll normally that time of the year. So I don't know. Just because people go into the hospital because they think they have corona. I mean, first of all, a lot of people are just hypochondriacs to begin with. So I mean, the moment they have a little cough or something, they probably think it's the virus. And there's more testing going on, so you're going to get more numbers. Every day there's more and more people who are capable of testing. It's not like everybody was tested. But anyway, the end result of out of this all this crazy is that the every time there's a headline that something's going on, it scares the markets, and the markets go kapooey. And that's what they're doing here this morning. The stocks are going down. Now you can see here, Euro, which was weak from it on Friday, seems to be trying to perk its head up. You can see it's trying to lift up a little bit. You can see on the spreadsheet on line 14, or as I like to call it now, the fact check sheet. And let's move that over a little bit like that. Is that it? I think I probably grabbed the wrong thing there. Let's see. Yeah, I did. I grabbed the wrong thing. Let's try that. There we are. The fact check sheet. There we are. See, the fact check sheet. Welcome to the internet world. What? I don't really see much damage going on. I can see us. We slid into daily sells, that type of thing, right there. We're still in weekly buys, right there. So I don't really see anything jumping out at us, saying anything really bad. I did hear on Friday that a lot of the selling on after they can the brokerage houses look and see who was doing the selling. They said it was a lot of retail. In other words, it wasn't the institutions who were out selling; it was the retail that was out selling, and there were a lot of stop orders that got hit, and they enjoyed hitting them. That's pretty much it. Oh, look at it! There's Oscar. Hey, Oscar, how you doing? Let's go. Let's go for it in a new week. Okay, what are we going for? I received an email from Rob. Oh, did you? Robin in touch with him this week. Oh, neat. Oh, no problem. Didn't realize that. I'm not really, I kind of, I'm paying attention, but I'm not paying attention. Robin's really working at opening the charts up because it's such a tangled situation with my algorithm where I don't let it loose. I control it. And so he's using it, but it's going through the cloud. And so I was saying to Janos that Robin and I traded on the floors in Chicago back decades ago, and him and he's been following my math like everybody here at Dukascopy, but he's been doing it for like 30 years. He's been watching the spreadsheet for like 30 years. But the thing is that he has not seen what everybody at Dukascopy's been seeing, and that is my algorithm. He was like, "You got to show this. You got to let people need to see this. This is something." And I was like, "Yeah." He says, "No." He says, "No, it's something." I said, "Yeah, I know it's something." And he's, "No, it's really something." I said, "Okay, cool. Then see what you can do with it." So, yeah, everybody at Dukascopy's been watching my algorithm now, I guess, for like 7 years, but no one else really sees it. You would think that I'd be out like selling it mad or something like that. I got no time to do that. But many brokers are having issues with data feeders past few days. IMAX, for example. Huh. Yes, Robin has an instruction thing up on the website. We wrote an instruction thing. Are you new to the channel? How you doing, Patel? We have an instruction to it. Yeah, we do. And then what we use is then we use the J4X to kind of like re-emphasize it because it's clearer and bigger. And then right here is our algorithm. So what you're seeing here is we're looking at the euro with the algorithm. And, it has a good habit of, when the white line and the black histogram are plus, this is the 0 line, and especially with the green dots, you really have, it goes up. And when they get the red dots and the line goes below, you notice that they're selling. And that's kind of like, it's really simple, but it's my algorithm itself. The mathematics is the engine to it all. And then this is a weekly trend right here below. And we don't even show you the chart. We just show you the algorithm to it. So, yeah, at the Chicago Quant Technologies website, there's an instruction, and we do it once in a while here. When Nicole or Janos or someone at Dukascopy says, "Hey, you should explain it again." It's like, okay, good, I'll explain it again, and or just ask questions. Either way, it's fine with me. So, yeah, that's where we're at, and and I don't only Dukascopy. I have only done it on Dukascopy. No one's ever really seen the charts besides that people at Dukascopy. I don't really push it out anywhere else. So Robin said, why don't you set up a service so if people want to see the charts, they can go up onto the cloud and do that. And I said, okay, there you go. You take care of it. So if he's in contact with you, trust him. He's a very honest person. He's a trader. You're talking to a trader. So I mean, he's a trader. We were traders in the trading pit together at times. I was always running around doing like euros. He did floor broke over, and I think he did euros and British pounds at one time too. But he was more of an S&P trader. Him and I traded through the crash of '87 together there, and so forth. And we've been in contact now since the '80s. So we're a bunch of old traders. That's what it is. A bunch of old traders. A lot of experience. And in a world where fake news is normal, people like us get drowned out. Because a lot of, I mean, like you watch CNBC or Bloomberg, you can't trust those places anymore. You get more accurate information from Dukascopy than you will from Bloomberg and CNBC. I mean, they're just out, just I don't know, they're spinning. That's all they do. So anyway, yes, if I can help you, you have a question, you just fire away. And we will gladly inform you. And there's plenty of videos here at Dukascopy of all my work throughout the years. So you can just go into the Dukascopy video archive, and DocDow pours out. So it's right there. And then what we've done is we've taken some of the I guess it's like, imagine if you made a sandwich, some type of sandwich, and imagine my algorithm is a sandwich that's made out of a certain bread. And at the same time, on the Dukascopy J4X chart, we use the same bread, but it doesn't have exactly the same meat in it. And that's what the difference is. And that's because my algorithm is my algorithm, and it's proprietary, and I don't release it, but I show it. I've always been very happy to show the results of it. And you can tune in and watch Dukascopy and see it live there. And at the same time, you can talk to Robin and see about getting more information out of it during the day after I leave Dukascopy. I wanted to start a channel, but Dukascopy took care of me, so I just do it on Dukascopy. It's just easier. This way I don't have to think about that either. And that's the whole key there, is I try not to tax myself too much because I'm trying to trade and explore and research markets, and technical analysis. So I mean, you only can wear so many hats. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. You can only do so many things. And so I do every day. You've got a question, I'm right here live. You can just come here and we can talk about the markets. And like I said, Dukascopy treats me right. And makes sense to do it here. No reason not to do it here than anywhere else. I mean, CNBC's not going to put up with me, that's for sure. I mean, I'll be telling them how everything, there's almost like 75-80% of what they say is actually fake. They're not going to want me on that TV set too long. And Bloomberg, it'll be even worse probably. So, yep, welcome, Patel, welcome. And Oscar, I'm glad things are working out for you. That's good. Yeah, well, the markets have been, you know, they're wild and woolly right now. Remember, brokers have to widen their bids and offers when things get wild because they're the last, they're buyer of last resort, really. So, in other words, you go to sell your product and they're like, you know, basically they get stuck owning it and they're trying to lay it off. So they got to keep the bids and offers wider when it's wild. So anyway, there's the euro. You can see there the euro is kind of sideways. You can see it better on J4X. It's dipping a little bit now right there. Just a little bit, just like it is here. And you can see the lines are heading down, just like our lines are heading down here. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to see a lot of action in the currencies right now from this. I would think that they'll weaken a little, because of the flight to safety again, and they run to the dollar when they get nervous, and that's why I thought that the dollar was going to be going down, and it was going down, and then the news came out, and boom, so. I don't see 54 here today. Where are you? You got, looks like you got out of your problem with no problem. You got out of your problem with no problem. Let's go over to the cable. There it is right there. Yeah, see? Lower than where you sold it. And that's why I said to you, buy calls. The 54 shows up. Buy a call. You get nervous. If you want to be short, buy a call to hedge it. That's all. Worst case scenario is you lose a little bit there, but what if it rolls over like it did on Friday and Friday night here in the States? It went down to 25 even, I think, yesterday. Look at it on J4X. Yeah, look at that low there. So we move this over. There we are. Put that right there. Look at the low. Is that right? Oop. There's the low right there. One. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. That's euro. Let's put cable in there. There's cable. And you can see, look at that. Imagine if you had been short still and you had a call. You'd be like, yeah, this is cool. Just a little hedge always helps out. Hey, I hope everything's doing fine down there. Let's see, what's it? It's the winter time now, right? You're coming right into the sweet spot of winter. Now, how do you say that? Marmontafu. Well, I'm just going to call you M because I'm very bad at reading. Dyslexic person here. Spoiler alert, dyslexic I am. All right, Mar, I hope everything's good down there. The weather looks like, you guys are in winter. So, Marcelo. Oh, that's easy to do. I can do that one. Marcelo, that's easy. Marcelo, I hope everything's good down there. How's the trading from down there? I imagine since the world now is so internet connected, I would imagine everything is pretty good. Yep. Well, I hope the weather's good. Did you see they got hail up in Canada, like the size of tennis balls. And it's, the weather is shifting all over the place. The South Pole is heading towards Peru. So things are getting a little changed here, and with the North Pole is now in Siberia, and they're like about 1,000 miles up. The North and South Pole now have moved close to 1,000 miles now. We're getting ready to do a magnetic flip. The sun changes its magnetic field from plus to minus to minus to plus every 11 years, like clockwork. And it sounds like Earth does it about every 12,000 years. So, I don't know. We're going to have to see what that's all about. I guess we're just a little runt out of it all when it comes to cosmos. But I hope the weather's doing fine down there for you, and watch out for the hail. Hail's been crazy around the planet lately. All right, now there's the cable, and you can see that. It's moving back up again, but, for 54, he was short, and it was moving back up, and I said, just pick up a call and stay short that way. We put a chart up there for him so he could watch it throughout the webinar in a 2-hour basis, I think it was. And where are we at in that thing? I think there it is. We're 2 days in a sell there, and but we're 3 weeks in a buy, just like here in the euro. So the damage is not really that tenacious at the moment. They're not really beating these things down that hard. You can see it there when it comes to the cable too. There's the weekly algo. 54 is in the house. Cool. See that? Buy a call and go short. It's called a synthetic. It will make you make more money. I know people get confused by that, but it does. Hey, I heard about that. Yeah, Canada is colder, but they had hail up there. Canadian manufacturing data is terrible. They were expecting 20%. They got or 20% minus is that? They got 28. While U.S. manufacturing data are fantastic. They were expecting 30 and they got 2. Well, we are the most capitalist society on the planet, so it's a little different there. As much as our socialists in this country have tried to turn the country into a socialist dream, I'm not sure what a socialist dream is. Is that like a nightmare? I'm not sure. But anyway, in the end result is that we're going to things like that are always going to pop out a little bit more. When you have freedom and competitive companies, somebody comes up with a better idea. They manufacture it. The next thing you know, you get higher production rates, that type of thing. So, are you still short the British pound, or did you reel it all in? See, if you bought a call, you'd be catching this ride. I see it got down to, look at it on J4X. The cable got down to, on Friday, it got down to 24.73, and today it drifted all the way down to 24.54. I mean, that gives you room to, catch a nice wave there. You could have over half of it off at this point, or 3/4 of it off for some buku dollars. So manufacturing, All right, and I think the only thing I see manufactured right now is just more scare. That's all they're doing is scaring us with this crazy virus that don't seem to be killing any more extra people. Something seems wrong about this whole thing. I wish they'd straighten that thing out. All right, now where are we at? Let's unless anybody wants to see something, we'll drift over to the Turkish lira and see what's going on there. And we are open to all and any questions at any time. We can stop what we're doing and go on to another subject, because in my philosophy, we are proactive traders nowadays, and so if someone asks a question, that may lead us to a really interesting trade. So it's I'd rather hear somebody say, "Hey, what do you think of blah?" I go, "Okay, let's take a look at it," and that's usually the way it works around here. You could be laughing at everything I say, 54. It's possible. When you say laugh out loud, it could be, with all the things I ramble about, anything's possible. I even laugh at me. So, okay, and there we are. You can see Turkish lira is, what's it doing now? It's going back up again. Okay, and we are, that's the craziest one of them all at this point. 28 weeks in a weekly buy and 7 days in a daily buy. So when it's in a weekly buy like that and a daily buy, you can carry positions overnight in the product and have an 8.5 out of 10 accuracy rate. And then, like with cable, where cable is in a weekly buy but a daily sell, that's a neutral position. Or if you're going to try to trade the daily, at least have a call on to hedge the risk. And same thing with like the euro today. It's in a weekly buy for 4 weeks. And you can see, we'll just do it real quick again on the, well, here it is there's cable. You can see the trend has been up, just matching with our weekly trend, but it doesn't go up straight. It goes up and down like a saber tooth, like a saw blade, up and down, up and down. And that's what the daily does. It gives you the shorter term direction. Close several, still short 50% of the position. Good. Oh, you're shooting for 122. Do you have a call on to protect some of that? Okay. You walking the wild side there, 54. You playing with the eye of the tiger. Good for you. Hey, that's what makes a market. Buyers and sellers. For every buyer, there's a seller. For every seller, there's a buyer. and someone's going to be right, and someone's going to have a hedged position on, and someone's going to be wrong too. All right, now let's, like I said, let's go take a look at the Turkish lira right there until someone jumps at me and says, "Doc, what's this?" I go, "Okay, I'll show you." And then there's Turkish lira. And you can see this thing's been in, even with this downslope over what is that? A couple of weeks now, right? 4 or 5 weeks, and we've been in more daily sells than we've been in daily buys. In this case here, it's been 7 days in a daily buy there. You can see it here. You know, it's been moving up in it, but overall, we are still in a uptrend in this product. It refuses to give up. Why 54? Thank you. Hey, you know, trading is, you know, first of all, you don't have the opportunity to be on a trading floor because there are no real trading floors anymore. So how are you going to get information that's correct for the era that we're in? You're not getting, you know, I mean, a lot of these people selling things are giving you strategies from the 1970s and the 1960s and so forth. They're not exactly giving you up-to-date strategies, and that's they're telling you how great they did when they were in a reactive state. You know, a lot of these people who write stuff are in a reactive state. So in other words, they were on trading floors or they were working trading desks, and orders were coming at them. So you didn't have to go think up or search out a good idea. And that's where we are now in this era, in the World Wide Web connected market with the lack of trading floors. We are proactive traders now. We have to come up with the ideas. We don't have somebody knocking on the door, ding dong, I'd like to buy some cable from you. No one's going to do that. So, you know, we have to have other ways of figuring out how to get involved, and it's all technical analysis and algorithms. If you decide to quit FX analysis and try stand-up comedy, Doc, you'll do fantastic. You have a super sense of humor. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate that. I laugh at myself all the time. So, yep, I agree with you. I think I'm funny as all get out. I crack myself up all the time. Yeah, let me think. That's a nice compliment. Thank you. I find that as a positive compliment. Let's see. The trading floors were like comedy places. I mean, there were some funny things that would go on the trading floor. I mean, you had to imagine you're fighting for orders and you had to stand out. So yeah, sometimes you had to do some crazy things, you know, to stand out, you know, that type of thing. So I don't know. It's fun. Let's put it that way. It's been fun to be here at Dukascopy doing this. All right, now as you can see here, I guess I guess we should finish this off and go on to the next product. But you can see right here, it's been since that green line. It's a long time. We're going over half a year now. This thing won't get into a weekly sell. And you can see it broke down here, and we've gone into daily sells, but we just can't get into a weekly sell on this thing. It just refuses to do that. And so that's where we are. Let's see. What's next? Let's take a look at Canadian. Hey, did you see any of that those tennis ball size hail? Wow, I mean, you want to wear a helmet when you're outside when that's happening. I mean, you could get brained to death. All right, there's CAD, 4 weeks in a sell. Let's put it on J4X. We'll take a look at it there first. At least one of those bicycle helmets, you know. Oh, a little strength there this morning, isn't it? And you can see it's been on a good downwardly trend. Oh, look at this on the J4X. The way the lines are just reaching up now, right at the bottom. You know, it was bouncing around down there, and now once the solid line really gets rolling, but you know, look at that. The rate of change lifted up even faster. Really screamed. And then of course the dash line always kind of moves along slowly there. Let's take a look at Canadian. There it is right there. And let's see, there it is right there. You can see the same thing, showing some life. Actually, we should put this over here, right? Yeah. There's the buy. And right there in the CAD. So going on its third full day. But it's not really going anywhere since that one big spike up. And you can see here the weekly is just underneath, just hanging tightly underneath. We'll see what the weekly buy numbers. I bet we're real close by to it. We'll check that out tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll do all the weekly numbers. We'll go through those. And but CAD is been sliding down. You can see here on J4X, it's been sliding down for all those weeks, and then now the daily is starting to push. Dailies always lead the weeklies, but not all the time. Obviously, I mean that's like a simple statement. Of course, chances are it's going to be in a weekly buy. Sometimes it's not. I mean a daily buy to go to the weekly buy, but you never know. Once it goes into a daily buy, I always think, okay, is it going to go to the weekly buy? A lot of times it does that. So we'll see what they do with that. Let's take a look at Swiss. There's a Swiss. 3 weeks in a sell and 7 days in a sell on the old fact check sheet. And let's take a look at it here on Dukascopy. Right there. There we are. And it looks like it's still going down a little bit. Nothing major, but it does look like it's going down. Yeah, see, they popped it on Friday. Is that flight to safety? You wonder. We've been looking at pairs trades, trying to figure out what pairs trades lead in different sectors. Like the NASCAD with oil, and now we're watching Euro Aussie with the S&P 500, and you would think that there would be like some type of combination with the Swiss, that it could be a warning sign before things get bad, or good, or however. It depends. If you're long and it's going up, it's great. And obviously, if you're short and it's going down, it's great. So I guess the word just defining it as bad is not necessarily a good way of describing the direction. But, I wonder, we have to do some more research in that to see if there's a correlation between the Swiss franc and something else in the market itself. It'd be very interesting to see that. Let's see what else we got going on here. Well, you can see here 7 days down. It was moving down, and today, let's see, where are we on that? Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I was trying to figure out where am I at. There it is, right there. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, today it's two double dots, but it will go into a buy today with that one, the second one. But because we got a red and a green. Normally, if it was green right now, we'd be like, get long, don't be afraid. Well, actually, it's in a weekly sell, so it's not. You have to be a little afraid because of the trend. But look at that overall. When you look at it on J4X, you can see this is not exactly something that's running all over the place. And then when the dollar was, going down, you could see that the Swiss was doing the same thing. It was moving down also. So, but not a lot. I guess, let's see, we've been in the 97s, 98, the high 97s. Now we're in the high 94s, or, mid 94s. Am I aware of this? Let's see. Let's see what that is. Let's double check this. Just got a message. Big boom. Ah, okay. That one, all right. We'll get to that later. All right, and so I just got an odd text. So, so really, what we're seeing here is that the Swiss is drifting down, and I guess that makes it more expensive against the dollar. I guess, right? Or is it? Which one's winning there? I guess if there's less Swiss for every dollar, that means that the Swiss is going up in value, right? And so the question is, what does the Swiss go against? What other product in a pairs trade that would the Swiss give us more insight? So I think I'm going to try to hunt around for that. We'll let Robin take care of the algorithm stuff. And that's the way I always do it, because I got a lot more research to do. Research forever. My nickname is the Ongoing Research Project. All right, who's next here? Let's take a look at the yen. There's the yen. Okay. See what they do here at the yen. 107. That's a nice wild little thing there. Remember, it was drifting up when the dollar was going down. Normally, these two seem to have that same direction thing going on. Now you can see here, this is bottomed, and the dashed line is heading towards the bottom now, but it's starting to turn up. You see that right there, and you can see the action we're getting there. And then let's take a look at it through the algo itself. Right there, I'm sure it's turned up too, because that's why we have this on here. It shows you the general trend right there, and you can see the strength of it there. And where are we on the spreadsheet on that? 4 weeks in a buy, 5 days in a sell. Okay, yeah, so red dots, yeah. So it's been going down, and now we're flirting with the buy. I guess we could have taken this little red thing, put that there. And then we'll be possibly, if this thing shows a little bit more life on the upside, you know, there'll be a green one kicking in there. You know, the trend will be shifting over. Also, for traders, anybody that's trading the futures contracts in the stock indices, they did the switch on Thursday. So now they're using September as the front month. So just a heads up. That's a, what's that thing they say on FYI for your information? Yeah, FYI. There you go. Yeah. So they've done the switch there. I'm sure it's something like that with the DAX too and the FTSE futures for those that are trading other futures contracts. But take a look and see what the front month is. Double check your systems there today. You don't want to be in the slower product, you know, where you're like, why didn't I get filled there? It's because no one's paying attention to it. That's what happens. All of a sudden it becomes like, nope, don't care. All right. Let's see. Let's go over to, we usually do NASCAD and go into the commodities, but I want to do our new product that we've been really following lately, and that is the Euro Aussie. I think it was 54 that turned us on to this one. The Euro Aussie right there. So it should be going up in value, and it is. There it is right there. We'll show it to you on J4X. And what that is, that runs the inverse relationship to the S&P 500. Let's see if we can find it there. There it is right there. You can see it's trying to go up too still, just like the stock market is going down. And what we can do is we can do the take a quick look at that. Yeah, see now you would think that it would be higher. I said this on Friday too. I was a little surprised about the Thursday one, that you would have thought that thing would have at least gone up and touched this stuff. So is this a possibility that it's trying to tell us a lower high and that the selling in the equity market may dry up? Or won't dry up, but it may not get any legs to it. So let's take a look at the S&P 500 right now and see what it's doing. Right there, there we go. And you can see it has it's been lower, that's for sure, right there. And you can see it's trying to come back up again, but it's still down. And you can see this thing is buried here. And then when we go back to the the Euro Aussie. We can see that it's not, for all this big action, it's not really going anywhere. Now, we've just started to explore this Euro Aussie pairs trade against the S&P 500. So, it's new. So there's not, I can't say, this is accurate by like 85% or 50%. I can't say that, but we did back check it for a couple months and it seemed to be pretty accurate. So it's definitely. Now the second question is it telling us a story? When we see the Euro Aussie not take out new highs. In other words, maybe they're riding the direction, but they seem to be a little stalled there, especially like the last 3 days in price. And so maybe we're not. Maybe the world equity markets, like all of a sudden they're just going to be finding themselves back up at the 2,700 area. We were looking for 27,600 and change. We got that, which was kind of neat. We talked about that here on Dukascopy a couple times before it happened. We were looking at the bottom end of the range of around 20. We've been talking a V bottom here. If you go back into the archives of DocDow, we've been talking about the V bottom now for like 7-8 weeks, something like that, and 9 weeks. Let's see if we can get rid of that and go to. Let's see, what am I looking for here? I know I'm looking for something. Oh, I know it is. I wanted to look at the S&P chart itself again. So right. I know it was Dow. We wanted to go to the Dow. So the Dow, we were looking for a bottom end of the range of like 26. When it was down to 2,000, we were like V bottom, V bottom, V bottom. And then I knew the Nasdaq was going to go back to all-time highs. We talked about that here, and I expected to see S&Ps get up like 0.68 or 0.72 or 0.78. I guess it is. No, it's 0.62 or 0.78. I figured it was going to land in that area, on a Fibonacci sequence to it, and it did. It got literally right up to it and stopped, and so and then like the Nasdaq or the high tech 100 here on J4X took out the all-time high by a couple hundred points. So that is that's really what's going on here. Is that the high tech stocks, like the Amazons and Apple Computer and Microsoft and Intel and so forth, Zoom and Netflix, Google, you name it, all the modern economy parts had to go back up to all-time highs. But the old-fashioned industrial stuff is going to have issues. They need the society to be open. Boeing went from like 130 or 120 to like 220, doubled. But it had lost 70% of its value. So the best it could do is get 0.68 up to it again. And then they're backing it off a little bit in here. We'll see what they do today if they actually survive this sell-off, if it starts to turn. Again, they're scaring the world again with the virus, and I'm starting to say, like, give me a death rate. I want to see a death rate. I want to see the death rate expand. I'm not being morbid. I'm just saying, if it's really something, we should see a higher death rate. We're not seeing a higher death rate, so something's confusing me altogether. It's the virus. It's the flu. I mean, why it's been taken so wild and serious, I don't know, but that's what it is. So anyway, let's drift away from there, and then we'll just show you real quick the high tech 100. And it's the Nasdaq 100 right there. That's on J4X, and you can see this thing is just on the edge of a weekly sell too. You can see here it V bottomed. Of course, it's not a perfect V, but as far as I'm concerned, that's a V to me, and made all-time highs there. So this market is trying. Let's put it that way. I don't think there's any room. Someone said something to me about it over the weekend, and I said, well, no, not really. It's not a buying time. It's a selling time. Usually, it's sell in May and go away, and then they buy in October and October, November, and usually you sell in May again. And if you follow the charts, you're going to see that it's a pretty successful thing over the decades. It's been a very good pattern. So sometimes you get consistency where it just doesn't let go. It goes sideways throughout the summer months, and then sells off in October. And if you buy those lows, October, November lows, usually it's usually a very good sign for the rest of the next 6 months or so. So what's this? An automated trading linear regression. Okay, it's a video on Dukascopy. Okay, that sounds cool. So that's where we are with this at the moment. Now let's see. Let's drift away from that. We'll do NASCAD, and we'll see what's going on there. So let's put NASCAD up on here. And there it is right there. And NASCAD is up. So I know they were selling oil last night. So if that's up, chances are oil is at least flat. So let's go see what Mr. and Mrs. Oil is doing. And all the little oils. Let's see. Wrong place there. Let's try that again. Right there. And right there. There you are. Now that's still down. That's still moving down. So it's kind of a little surprising to see the NASCAD up when that's moving down. That's usually the way it does that too. They usually march together. Now they can get out of sync, and then they join right back in again. But that is what they do. They kind of move along, and they mosey along in the same direction. Let's see now. Let's see if we can get this more visual. So there's NASCAD. You can see that's moving up, and which is kind of surprising because right where this was going sideways, the oil market has dropped, but this is still holding up. So now we go and look at oil here. You'll see it's been pushed down. Well, it went to $41. We were looking for, like 39. We thought in the wildest of wildest dreams we figured 41, but it did. It went there. Right there. And you can see here on the spreadsheet. Let's see where we are on the spreadsheet here. So you can see. Did we go into sell? I guess we didn't go into sell. So okay, I guess there it is up top. So we're just going into the sell today. That's why it's been so many green dots, and it's been in a buy since that line there. And that's what is that? That's the what price is that? 33.70, 33.71. It went to $40 and change, I think. 39.91. See it here. And yes, I know. I know it is. That's the July contract, and right now we're in June. That's what it is. And so it's a little bit different prices. And this is the June contract right here on J4X. And I'm not sure why I have July up on there. We should have June in there. So let's go find June. I bet it's in a daily sell for a second day or something like that. I just realized that. Do we have another one in there? No, we don't. Okay, so let's see if we can find. Let's just change that. Where are you, crude? Okay, so let's just do this. We'll go okay, and we'll just make a copy of this and put June in there and see what that looks like. I was impressed that they got up to 41. That's a lot of buying in a world that's still trying to figure out if they want to be open or not. Wonder if they put a sign up in space that says closed for holidays. Closed for pandemic. Come back later. And you don't want to stop here. We have a pandemic. Now, why is it taking so long to fill in? Aha. All right, let's put June in there. Oh, this is really moseying along, isn't it? I was like, no energy today. It's Monday morning. It doesn't think when Doc says TGIM. Thank God it's Monday. It's probably saying, "Shut up, Doc. I'm rolling over." There we go. And close. Let's see what happens there. I don't know. We're going to let it. It's establishing its connection. How wonderful. We'll go back to the July contract or just look at J4X. You can see that. So we're moving. Look at this thing. It's burying itself already, and we're just barely going into the daily sol on our algorithm. So it's been the last 3 days have been ever since the scare again. They've knocked it down like $5. So I don't know. What can you say? I don't even know there's a logic to talking about any of it. It seems crazy to me. I just follow the numbers. That's what we do. We just follow the numbers. All right. Let's take a look at gold this morning and see what the contango looks like there. Boy, this thing is really dragging. What is up with this thing? See, we're getting our feed. Oh, it doesn't look like it's ticking. That's what it is. Oh, there it goes. Now it's ticking. There we go. Okay. Things are really slow. All right, let's take a look. Gold, I can see, is down $26. Wow. Huh. Let's go take a look at here on J4X. And we can try to figure out what the contango is. There it is right there. For a worldwide pandemic, they don't seem to be caring. All right, 1708's bid for almost 1709. Let's call it 1709. And then let's see if we can go find that chart. What's up with this? This thing is really dragging. One of these days I'm going to open this box up and put in some RAM. It's just a matter of time. Come on, machine. I only use this box for the webinar, so I don't really think about it. After I'm done whining about it, I kind of forget it. Probably like pregnancy. All right, come on, machine. It's not even. That's why it's dragging. It's not even letting me get back into that. At least I have J4X, and that's good. Establishing a connection. Oh, there we go. But it won't even let me go in there and change the chart. I want to put gold up there. All right, now you can see here, gold is down, and it's trading basically, just call it, I guess now it's at the low 8s. And let me just go take a look and see on another machine, where is gold? All right, yeah, I got gold trading at 10. Is it 10? Yeah, 10. 1710. So the contango now is back at $2. Just $2 carry trade for the August contract. And we saw that. I guess it was it 2 Mondays ago we saw that? We saw the product fall, or the Friday before. We saw it fall down to $1.50 to $2, and then it ran up to $10 wide, the premium, and now we've fallen back down again. The product is, where are we in that product now? We're still in a daily sell, as you can see on the spreadsheet. So we're 2 days in a daily sell and 1 day in a weekly buy. We climbed into the weekly buy, but we're in a daily sell. So now we'll see where the next weekly buy is. Weekly sell, and see if we're going to fall into that. We saw where the euro traded in and out of it a half a dozen, not half a dozen times, but it was like 3 or 4 times. We can't get to this chart right now. For some reason, it's frozen up and everything else is working, and I'm not going to wrestle with it. I'd rather just be able to keep on doing the webinar than whining about how my chart won't work. But one thing is for sure, and that is that the what is that? Comex. Okay, yeah. So it's trying to tie into it. One thing is for sure, and that is that we saw the euro going in and out of weekly and daily buys for weekly buys for like 3 or 4 weeks back to back to back to back. And maybe we're going to see the same thing with gold, a combination of the same thing. And you can see silver, where is silver? I have silver down 33 cents at 17.14. Trying to perform. It's trying. It really is, and it's been lifting pretty well for the last couple of months. And we are 10 weeks in a weekly buy on silver. You can see that on 11 weeks on line 9 right there. You can see that. And then 3 days in a sell. So it's been in a neutral situation. So you can't really be long because one is in a buy. The weekly bigger trend is in the buy. And the shorter term overnight trend is in a sell. So it's really stuck with a neutral stance there. And let's see. So this thing is still being it. It's still being it. Look at that. It won't let me get in and out of anything. All right. I'll just stay with J4X. And here's silver right there. We'll show it to you. As the weakness goes on, and it hasn't really started yet. I don't know. I can't say I would be really surprised if they found themselves back down at under 16. I mean, every time you would think, common sense to me says this stuff should be higher, but for some reason it is not higher, and that's the weirdest thing of all about it, is that you would think in a world where the things that we're watching happen, it would be, people would be running. I mean, like as if they were running with scissors. And to a great extent, Bitcoin, which is really surprising, is doing the same exact thing. It's down, which is really odd again, because you would assume that, they would think that the world is coming to an end on some financial way. So it is unique. That's for sure. It's truly unique. I don't have a lot of confidence in the metals myself. I mean, if you're outside the United States, it's a lot easier to buy the metals solely because of the currency situation. Metal, gold is like setting all-time highs in something like 80 different currencies, different pairs trades around the world. But it has not seen an all-time high in the U.S. dollar since like 2013 or 14 or something like that. Right around no, maybe it was even like 2010. So I mean, it's been a long time since let's look at it. See if we can get it up on here real quick. There's J. We'll use the silver first, and then we'll go into like a monthly. But I think we're looking at all-time highs back in like 2010 or something like that, or 2009, or I don't know, something like that. I mean, definitely not 2013. I don't know, something like that. We'll find it in a second here. Here we go. There it is right there. And that is 2011. Okay. So let's take a look at it in gold. Now, whereas silver has not bounced back at all, gold is at least only a few $100s away. Gold is only about a buy from 1680. You think it'll play back down into that and buy it again? It seems to be in a channel. I agree with you. Now, gold, it was 2011, 12 also, and 2012 again in there. But when it comes to the silver, as you can see right there, silver is really just dragging. It can't perform at all. So again, they've started using these metals and all for currencies. So what you're really seeing is they're acting just the way they should, I guess. So gold at 213. Let's take a look at gold. And let's go into a daily chart again. Yeah, I could see that. That's 1680 in here. I could see these, trying to support, I guess, something about this area here. They did it there. See if we can scrunch this a little bit more. Whoa, lost that mouse. And this machine is really having its issues today. There we go. And you can see there. So, yeah, I could see that 1680 thing. You can see this thing's trying to bottom out here. It's tried to lift up, but now we're doing a little rollover again. We'll see where the weekly is tomorrow, and we'll get a good flavor for the action. I don't think these markets have directions. I think I've been mumbling that, just as much as I've been screaming up on the stocks. I really think that a lot of the currency pairs, the metals, I don't think they have a real solid direction. I think they're really trapped in a range. And so trying to play the 1680 up again, it does make sense. Especially if we were in a weekly buy again, in a daily buy, you definitely want to do it then. And if you're going to, if you want to try to like buy a put or something like that and go long, that wouldn't be that bad either. It would give you, let's put it this way, it'll make you braver to hold on to your long position. That's for sure. Except for you, 54, you'll just fly like the tiger. Like the eye of the tiger. All right. Now, what else we got to say about that? I guess that's about it. I mean, it's $2 contango at most. And we can't even get into our algorithm. I'm sure what that is about. I'm afraid to do anything since we're at the end of the webinar. I don't want to lose those last 5 or 6 minutes in case someone has a question. I can go onto another machine and find out where we are if anybody needs to find out. But this one, for some reason, has frozen itself. Establishing a connection. How nice of you. It's like a new relationship. All right. That's all you can see. Wheat went into a weekly sell last week right there. That's kind of interesting. Corn and beans are in buys. That's holding up pretty well. What else can we talk about here? Oh, platinum went into a weekly sell last week also. There it is right there. Copper and silver still are in buys. But with the way things are going, I'm not sure. Let's see. Stock indices. They just held on. I think. Oh no, they're in sells. No. Yeah, they're in sells now here. Stock indices are in sells, and they're in a daily sell. So they were saying to come in over the weekend, it could fall down. I myself thought it was so obvious that they would take it up just to take it down like Monday afternoon, but right now it doesn't seem to be doing that. I really thought they would try to take it up today to take it down going into Tuesday. We'll see. The day is just beginning. Where's the stock indices? Let's just take a quick look again. There's the Dow, that Dow 30. You can see it has a nice tail, so it's come off its lows. And you can see this is heading down, and more than likely this is probably trying to tell us that it wants to go down. In other words, it doesn't want to go up. I mean, you know, we know it's going down, but I mean, it might want to have more room on the downside. Now, I don't really have a solid idea of where, but I would be surprised if we went to 23. You know, these lows here. I kind of don't really expect that. If anything, I would think they would challenge these highs here where that line is. And that's what they're doing right now, is they're playing the top side of this. And I want to believe that's what it is, but we're in daily sells now when it comes to and weekly sells in these products, so it's going down until we get a signal that says it's not. What did I say that's funny again? Am I like a clown? What is funny? That they can't figure out what they're doing? I really thought they would do something like that today. I thought they would try to take them up, and the way they did on Friday, and then sell them down. I have a hard time believing they're going to sell them down and, you know, off the opening. But you know what? Do you have a target? That's what it is. Do you have a target for? Are you looking at that 20? Was that the 22,700 area, or 23,000, or is this your first area here? I know I've heard people talk about 2950 on the S&P 500. That seems to be a real popular number for the S&P traders right now. We'll see if that has any real effect. It's just a matter of time. All right, so what should we call this webinar today? Because I feel like I've been everywhere. The clown was on. The clown dropped the ball? No. Let's see. What should we come up with for a title here today? The clown pulled up in a little clown car? Let's see. Title. There we go. I think we'll call it today Gold and Silver join the equities. How's that? Join the equities, which is really crazy. Because aren't we supposedly selling off because we're paranoid? You would think they'd be buying this stuff. Title. Let's go like that. Bing, 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 bing. Let's put stock equities. There we go. I mean, this is the weirdest thing. And Bitcoin did too. We could say the same thing about Bitcoin. It also is selling down. Eye of the tiger. Oh, you like that? Hey, South Philly, South Paw, South Jersey. So, all right, this is Doc from North America. We will catch you guys tomorrow, same time, same channel, and we'll go from there. So everybody have a safe and smart trading day. We'll see what they do. I myself, like I said, I'm thinking they're going to try to pop it a little bit first before they knock it more down. Ta-ta for now.